Hello, so today I would like to look at plotting more complex quadratics using a table of values. And I'm going to look at two examples today, so let's start off with example 1. Plot the graph of y is equal to 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 for x between the values of minus 2 and 4. Okay, so if you were doing this by hand, then you need to remember, of course, that your values go inside. Oops, sorry. Let me just put that back in again. Change the colour. I want blue. So just remember that your brackets go around the variable and your values from here will be put inside those brackets. Okay, so if we take the first value of x minus 2, then y is equal to minus 2 brackets minus 2 close brackets all squared, take away 3 open brackets minus 2 close brackets minus 2, and then when you work this out in your calculator, this is equal to 12. And I just have a video here to show you how you can do this on your calculator. Okay, so let's watch this together. Lovely, so I'm going to show you how you can do this table of values on your calculator. Okay, so here we go. So we have 2 brackets and our first value was minus 2, so we need to use the negative button, not the subtraction button. So negative 2, close your brackets, then we need to square that, then take away 3 brackets and our minus 2, close your brackets, and then take away 2, and there we get our value of 12. Now to input all of the other values, because we have to input all of the values between minus 2 and 4, then we simply scroll back into what we wrote, and then I delete my 2 and I put 1, and then I scroll along and I delete my 2 and I put in 1 and I press equals, and there I get my value of 3. Okay, and so on and so forth, and I continue until I get all of my values. So I'll just show you one more time. So I scroll up, okay, to before what I want to delete. So I want to delete the 1 and the negative, so I scroll to here, I delete and I delete and I put in 0, and I scroll along, I delete and I delete and I put in 0, and there is my value. And here you can produce all the values of your calculator. Lovely. So moving on, okay, so and this is a perfectly valid way of working out all the values for your table of values, but I would just like to show a specific way if you're lucky enough to have a calculator which has the fraction button as illustrated in this video. Okay, so I'm going to show you a way that you can produce this entire table of values on your calculator. Okay, but please note this only works if your calculator has this fraction button here. If it has the ABC button, you can't do this. Okay, so to produce all of these values on your calculator, what you're going to have to do is press mode. You have 3 options: comp, stat and table. It's option 3 for table, and then you're going to have to input the function, and the function was 2x squared, so 2. Now to get your x, it is the red x here, and so to get the red function you need to press alpha. So 2 alpha x, and then it needs to be squared, and then minus 3x, so we need alpha again, x, and then it was take away 2. So here we have inputted the function into the calculator. So we press equals, and it asks us on which value do we want to start. and we want to start on x is equal to minus 2. So we come back here, so remember to use the negative button. So we want to start on minus 2. We want to finish on 4. So we end on 4. And we want to go in steps of 1. And here the calculator produces all of the values for you. When x is equal to minus 2, y is equal to 12. When x is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 3. 0 minus 2, 1 minus 3, 2, 1, 3, 7, and 4, 18. And so here the calculator has produced all of the table of values. Okay, so whichever way you obtain your table of values, the next thing you have to do is plot it on our graph. Okay, so we take our graph, okay, and then we plot the values. So the first thing we have to plot is minus 2, 12. There it is there. Then we have to plot minus 1, 3. Then we have to plot 0, minus 2. There it is there. Then we have to plot 1, minus 3. Then we have to plot 2, 0, 3, 7, and then 4, 18. And if I can just move this over a little bit, you can see 4, 18. And then once you've got all your plots pointed and all your points plotted, then you have to draw a smooth curve passing through all of your points. Lovely. Okay? And we can see that this is a smooth quadratic parabola. It's shaping up the way because the coefficient of x squared was positive. Lovely. So now we'll go back and we'll look at example 2. Okay, so moving back to example 2. So now we want to plot the graph of y is equal to minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 6. And these are for the values of x between minus 2 and 3. And the first thing I would like to draw your attention to is the fact that the coefficient of x squared is negative. So this quadratic is going to be this shaped. Okay, so we draw our table of values, and we have x between minus 2 and 3, and we have to work out the corresponding.
The example I'd like to look at is y is equal to minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 6 between the values of minus 2.
Sorry about that. That was a little bit too soon. I do apologise. As you know, I always make some kind of mistake in my videos. So here we go. So we have our quadratic and we need to substitute in the values. So starting with x is equal to minus 2. So we'd have y is equal to minus 3 brackets, because remember our brackets go around our variable, and our values for x would be substituted inside these brackets. Okay, so we have minus 3 brackets minus 2 close brackets all squared plus 3 open your brackets minus 2 close your brackets plus 6, and then you work that all out, and in this particular case this would be equal to minus 12. And again, I'm just going to show you how you can do this on your calculator. What in actual fact I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the two ways. Okay,
The second example I'd like to look at is y is equal to minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 6 between the values of minus 2 and 3. So back to our calculator. So if your calculator is in this mode, then we just set up our function. So we have, remember it's negative, so minus 3, we need the x, so alpha x squared plus 3 x plus 6. Okay, so we input that. We want to start on minus 2. So we come back, so we start on minus 2. We want to finish on 3. And we want to do it in steps of 1. So there are all our values. When x is minus 2, y is 12. When x is minus 1, y is 0. When x is 0, y is 6. When x is 1, y is 6. When x is 2, y is 0. And when x is 3, y is equal to minus 12. And we just use that to fill in our table of values.
Okay, so that was showing you how you could do it if you had the function option on your calculator. But if you just have the ABC button on your calculator, then you have to do it in the more old-fashioned way.
However, if your calculator doesn't have this option, then you'll simply have to type it in. So I'm just going to go back to normal mode. So that's comp. And then simply you just need to put in minus 3 brackets and then your first x value, which is minus 2, and that needs to be squared, plus 3 minus 2, remember to use the negative button and not the subtraction button, plus 6. And then you just need to work it out one by one for each value. Thank you.
Okay, so whichever method you use, it doesn't really matter. If you're lucky enough to be able to work out using the table function in your calculator, that's fabulous. But if you have the ABC button, you can just type it into your calculator and then scroll through to change your values. And then once you have your table of values, okay, and we can see them here, then again you come and you plot them on your graph. Okay, I'd just again like to note that the coefficient here is negative, so we're expecting to have this upside down shape for our quadratic parabola. So we plot our points, minus 2, minus 12. I know I said 12 in the video, but it's minus 12. There we go. And then minus 1, 0. Then 0, 6. Then 1, 6. Then 2, 0, and then 3, minus 12. And again, you will want to draw a smooth curve passing through all of your points. And there it is there. And this is the graph of y is equal to minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 6. Thank you.